Kill me before I grow older. You'll never know.
Hello everybody, and thank you for joining me on this episode of Video Game Replay. My name is Larry, and I am running solo again. It's been a minute. It has been roughly about 2 months since we've done a video game review together as a clan, and honestly, it's just been too long. Me and Aiden got together, we did a review on The Seventh Seal. It's an older movie, but something outside of the norm of what we normally do. I thought it was all right. Give it a check out. Tell us what you think. I really appreciate it. But life has been in the way, I guess. I don't know what the answer is. I still play video games. I still have time, so I guess I'm the one without a life. I put in my 40 a week. I do my job, deal with my wife, my kids, cooking. Still try to find time to do this. But either way, I guess life's what happens while you're busy doing other things. But either way, it's January. Actually, it is February 1st of 2026 when I'm putting this down. I needed to talk to you guys. I just need to see how you're doing. Make sure you're doing all right. I know somewhere out there, there's half a dozen of you listening, maybe more. I don't know. I guess that's part of what gets us into this situation. Well, I guess the positive is we've passed Blue Monday. It's normally the third Monday of the calendar year in January. Basically where everybody's really just depressed because all the happiness of Christmas is over, winter sets in. I tell you what, if I look back at the calendar, I know I was feeling it. It's been terrible so far this 2026. I come here from North America, obviously, mid-Atlantic region, and we have had nothing but cold, snow, ice, much like the rest of my fellow Americans. Forgive me if somewhere else in the world you're dealing with the same issues. Obviously, they don't tell us much of what's going on in the world unless it's 30-second blip to tell us that Australia is on fire. And I hope that if anyone from Australia is listening, that you're doing okay. But it's been really rough. Like I said, I think the average temperature for the past week was 12. That was during the daylight. And the night times are below zero. I've had to fix my mother's pipes several times. Frozen over. Had to redo some installation stuff. Had to keep heat on it. It's work. But luckily she's doing good. We're doing okay. I know there's not a whole lot of people who aren't doing so well. And I hope that somewhere they get better. And we can tough this out till we get to spring. The hopes is, though, we're probably looking on the other side of the Super Bowl before weather gets any better, so who knows? Speaking of the Super Bowl, thank you, Ben Johnson and my Bears, for making it past the first round of the playoffs for the first time in almost 15, 16 years. I was hoping to make a Super Bowl run, but I'll take what we got. And beating the Packers the first round, that's a win in my book, so we'll take that. I appreciate that, guys. Thank you. The Super Bowl this year is going to be the Seattle Seahawks versus the New England Patriots. Apparently this happened 11 years ago, and best I can remember, I didn't give a shit then. I sure don't care now. But I guess I'll be eating chicken wings and pizza and watching for a little bit until I get really bored. Does anyone out there watch the Super Bowl still? If so, shoot me a comment. Let me know. If you do, who do you think is going to win? Let me know. If I had to put money on it, which I don't, I'd probably say it'd be Seattle by at least a touchdown. They're looking really good this year, really tough.
Ever want to bet on sports and play casino right from your couch? Tired of these big agencies with their BS rules and unfair odds? Good thing there's a solution for you. Check out the new VGR online sportsbook and casino today. Sign up with code VGR for up to a $1,000 deposit match. We have your favorite matches all year round to bet on. You want to bet some NBA Jam? Bet on VGR OSC. You want to bet Pong? Find us on VGR OSC. Want to bet Tecmo Super Bowl? Good thing that's on VGR OSC. Casino more your style? No worries, we got you covered there. VGR Online Sportsbook and Casino has that last word in our slogan for a reason. Come play some of our exclusives such as Super Mario World Series Poker, UN Slotdrin, Teenage Mutant Ninja 3-Card Poker, and much, much more. Refer a friend and you'll both receive a shout out on the next VGR podcast. Get betting today, nerds, at VGR Online Sportsbook and Casino. Must be 21 or older. Rules and terms apply. Not available in select countries, states, countries, or counties or territories. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER today. All satire ad.
So in this winter's, I don't even know what you call it, hell. Still trying to play video games, just keep myself occupied. If you ever played The Sims, my fun's been low. It's hard to go outside and do anything. I'd like to spend a little more of my winter this year doing some carpentry, some woodworking rather. It's too damn cold. My garage is 0 degrees. I do not have a heater. Actually, I could probably put like at least a space heater in it, but it's such a mess right now that it's hard to even move around and work. So no need to try to convince myself that that's the answer. But definitely getting stir crazy. It's rough. It's been rough. And like I say, I don't know. I'm trying to move outside of that. But video games. I know that's what you came here to listen about. This is what we're talking about. I ended up so far this year been playing a whole bunch of nothing. My game for the past 2 weeks has been Sid Meier's Colonization. It's where you pick one of the European powers, land on a new continent, and take off from there and see if you can establish a new country as you work your way through and try to rebel against the previous country that you were part of, and then see if you can win the Revolutionary War. It's a turn based. It's kind of like Civilization, but without as much technology grow. It's kind of just in a more targeted era, I believe, somewhere between 1492 and 1776, 1800s. That's the goal of when you're trying to establish everything and then break away. The sooner you can do it, I think the higher your scores and all that. I'm currently in the mid 1600s. Several of my cities have forts. We're developing an army, and I'm trying to build out more city-states so that we can take on the English, which that was who I picked just because that's the easiest one. I wasn't here to challenge myself. I just wanted to play a game of it. I have been working since mid-December on trying to get my PlayStation 2 up and running, which I finally did get that fired up today. Basically, if I took better care of my stuff, it would all be together, and it is, but it's buried in my basement in several different parts. And also I have a Slim and I have a Fat Boy, which I got the Slim running, but I didn't have the power pack. I don't have a CRT set up. I have one sitting right next to my desk here, but I have a 37-inch 720 TV sitting here, which I prefer to use, which required a better cable connection because I couldn't find the cable connection that went with the PS2 Slim. So I had to order one of those, get one of those. Couldn't find the power pack, so I got one of those. Got it all fired up, and then the short of it is my laser's going dead. If I turn it up sideways, it'll work, but it seems to have issues loading stuff. So working on that, but hopefully before too long, I'll end up having some other content to put on my own channel, our Monkey on YouTube. Forgive me if you can notice any of the harsh edits in this. I'm dealing with some sort of head cold thing, And now realizing that trying to talk for about 10, 12 minutes after an hour-long basketball game today, my throat's kind of shredded. But yeah, it's rough trying to find my game of the winter, and I've not succeeded really. We started playing Final Fantasy Earthbound. That was the last game we were supposed to be putting up, was Earthbound. And I got through a decent portion of that, and I couldn't handle it anymore. Which then led into we were supposed to pick up CJ's playing of Harvest Moon for the SNES, and then Legend of Zelda was due to come up. And I've played all those games, not the end, haven't beat them all, but didn't get ahead of it, but just wanted to grab some feeling of it, wanted to get some of the mojo going, develop some notes and put it all together, but I needed something different, needed something more. And I haven't found out what that is yet. So if you got a suggestion, leave me something in the comments. Email us here at vgrpod@gmail.com. I don't know. I'm just trying to find something to keep my winter occupied besides freezing to death and watching Hoarders. So if you got a suggestion, I'm open ears, waiting to hear from it. Me and CJ do talk 3-4 times a week because we're coaching a basketball team together. They're currently 6-3. They're looking good. They put it together and got a lot of hopes for this team. They'll go somewhere on that. But haven't really talked to Aiden. Don't know what he's into. Hope he's doing well. My honest answer is I think he's working, and his schedule, of course, when he's working, puts him in a whole different time frame than me and CJ. So I guess that's what happens when you get old. You don't have time for things, and you got life to take care of, bills to pay, and I guess it just gets in the way sometimes. Anyways, video games. Yeah, like I say, forgive me. I haven't done this in a minute, and it's twice as hard when you try to do it by yourself. Just been trying to get through it. I don't really have a game of the week. I am going to plug in a episode of Larry's PC Corners that I was working on. It's a game from back in the day. It ended up being a lot shorter than I thought it would be. And actually, even that, it sounds kind of broken, but I would at least give you guys something on that. And that's, hopefully that's what you come here for. I imagine maybe it's a little more of the conversation that we get, but just going with what I've got, I guess. Still working on other things, trying to get my other channel moving for this year. I think that the idea is at least get a couple shows in the log, because it's just not been well to try to come up with any sort of creative content. Not struggling for the word. Not struggling for the word. I just hate the word content. It sounds so generic. I really want to just put out stuff out there for you guys so you can enjoy yourselves watching it, maybe have a little flashback of stuff. This one here that I'm going to play for you in a minute definitely was a flashback for me. Growing up in the 80s, early 90s, of course, is about the time I hit middle school. Played a game actually in school, which a lot of us may have, especially when you talk about PCs. I know a lot of folks, a lot of kids I grew up with, their first experience with computers was at school. And this one here, I remember came up, I think it was 6th grade. At the time, I was going to a private Catholic school that my grandmother insisted I went to. And by 6th grade, the school had ran out of the opportunity to keep me up to speed with what was going on in the public schools. So half the day I went to the Catholic school. The other half of the day we ended up going over to the public school. And that transition's a little rough on a kid who innocently didn't know any difference between A and B. We're all kids until you get into the reality of I'm a kid who wore khakis and collars, and everyone else was kids who wore t-shirts and jeans. Doesn't sound like much, but it's definitely a different world than where you come from. But either way, I believe in 6th grade, my homeroom teacher was a lady named Mrs. King. She still lives around here. Her daughter's a teacher now too. But either way, when we had free time at the end of the day, and if you had your homework done, you could go and you could play a game on the computer. She had several computers in her. Actually, I didn't think it was her classroom. I think it was a computer lab was her classroom, which that's really weird when you think back about it. There was a whole room dedicated to computers, multiple computers, probably 2 in some, 6 in others. This depends what your schools had, but not every classroom had a computer. Not every person had a computer. Like today, where, every kid basically is issued a laptop and still gets charged for books. But in this year, there was a lot of learning games, of course, things probably everybody remembers, like Oregon Trail, Math Blasters, things like that, which all pretty much came from the same company called The Learning Company. And the game I'm going to talk to you about today on Larry's PC Corners is something out of the Super Solvers series, a game by the name of Midnight Rescue. The Sorcerer's Apprentice by Paul Dukas is the familiar tune that welcomes you to the start of this episode's game. This time we're playing the first in the Super Solver series from The Learning Company. This time on Larry's PC Corner, we're playing Midnight Rescue. Released in 1989 by The Learning Company, Midnight Rescue is the first of 6 games in the Super Solver series of learning games, including titles like Outnumbered, Challenge of the Ancient Empires, Spellbound, Gizmos and Gadgets, and Missions Think. Thinking hard inspires new knowledge. Where almost all of these games have a Dr. Wily type antagonist named Morty Maxwell, or the Master of Mischief, a moniker that he later dropped. I would describe him as Dr. Wily-esque, as his schemes mostly are made up of him creating robots to cause mischief, all in hopes to pull off some elaborate plan that makes zero sense, as in this game that we're playing today, Midnight Rescue. Now you play as the Super Solver, a faceless detective with a red cap and high tops, yellow shorts, and the dopest of the dope, an oversized, puffy starter jacket from the newly formed Charlotte Hornets. It's probably not that, but it is the right color, and the Hornets were founded in 1988. I'm just saying. We all knew someone who had one of those puffy jackets. And Brian Walker, if somehow you're actually listening to this, I'm sorry. I really should have known better, and yes, you know what I did. Armed only with a magnifying glass, a camera, and your critical thinking skills, you set off to the school to foil Morty Maxwell's plan before the midnight hour strikes. The Master of Mischief creates 5 robots from various types of brushes to help paint the Shady Glen school invisible by midnight. And that's it. Just paint the school invisible by midnight. No reasoning, no rhyme, no I'm mad at the school or I got fired. It's just purely mischievous. To hide away from detection, Morty Maxwell hides inside one of the robots, and your mission is to find randomly placed clues throughout the school, where you must read a short entry from either a fictional diary or a famous work of literature, answer a question about what it is you just read correctly, and then this answer will be a defining clue to figure out which one of the robots that Morty Maxwell is hiding in. Now, while wandering the school, you will come upon robots randomly. You must snap a picture of the robot that you came across before it attacks you with a bouncing ball, causing you to fall down and waste approximately 45 seconds, where the time that you have to solve the puzzle is roughly about 9 minutes per round. After gathering several clues and a couple of pictures, you can review the information that you've gathered by looking at your notes along with the pictures you've taken, and you can either make an informed guess as towards which robot Morty is hiding in, or continue searching the school for more clues. So after gathering the clues, reviewing the information and the pictures, should you be incorrect, the wrong robot you chose will reveal to you the truth. that they are not the droid that you're looking for and will throw paint on you, making you and the entire school disappear. You gain no points, no ranking, and you must live with the knowledge of knowing that you failed and allowed Judgment Day to happen. Now, should you guess correctly, the hiding spot of Morty Maxwell blows up and Morty stands before you with his eyes popping out of his head over all the bonus points that you just acquired, and finally he bursts into pixie dust. You do a moonwalk through his ashes and do flips across the room in celebrations of your critical thinking skills. After your celebration ends, your points are totaled up and you're shown your accumulated score to see where you've landed on the ladder of achievement, from the bottom as a trainee to the top being the champion level. Then you're asked if you want to play again or if you want to let someone else play. Basically, you're going back to the main menu and you choose your name again, which allows you to add your accumulated points, working towards the goal of reaching to the top of the ladder. I've never made it further than junior, and that's like the second level. That's the best I can remember. Playing this again for the first time since 6th grade in Mrs. King's homeroom, I was taken back to the days where I've spent good money in therapy trying to forget. I think of a game designed for 7 to 10-year-olds. This is a good way to get your kids to work on their comprehension and critical thinking skills. And honestly, I'd be intrigued to see how well a high school freshman would do in a game like this in 2026. A decent game that I wouldn't recommend playing unless you have some nostalgia for this game and you want to remember something you've tried to forget, or rather, you could introduce it to a young child in your home. 6 out of 10, but it's not a game for anyone over the age of 15 unless you're born after 2010, which I don't have a lot of hope for you all. Sorry. I am sorry that I don't have hope for the 15 to 20-year-old generation right now. And I'll say that overly because they don't listen to this. I don't know who does, but either way, Super Solvers, I can appreciate a game that tried to get you to do something different. This was one built around reading. Like I said, there was Math Blaster, which was, as I can best remember, was, a action game designed around your math. Oregon Trail was history and math and economics. A lot of them, they were there and they were fun. They were fun entertainment, which is not something you get much anymore. I think it's either just straight up beat it into you or make it so fun that you don't actually learn anything out of it. And I'm basing this off the fact that I've got kids who've showed me some of the things that they have school-wise that are supposed to be fun games and all that. I think they just missed the mark, unlike how the Learning Company had put it together back in the day. But either way, I guess this is just going to be a short one, guys. I just wanted to touch base with you, try to get into this, keep some rhythm going. Let you know we haven't totally abandoned this yet, but, I guess don't give a hope on that idea yet either. If you've enjoyed this content, please like, subscribe, follow us on whatever podcast catcher that you're using. Follow us on YouTube. We're on the socials, Instagram. Email us, vgrpod@gmail.com. vgrpod@gmail.com. Send us a note. Let us know that you're listening from wherever you're coming from. I know that's an old person's way of doing it, but that's fine. I like to read an email every now and then that doesn't tell me that the Prince of Abu Dhabi has got $1 million from me as long as I send him my bank account information. I think it'd be pretty handy not to have that kind of stuff. But anyways, anything you can leave us a note on, please do. I have a question for you of the week. It's wintertime. You're locked in the house. Hopefully you have, something warm, something to keep you taken care of. Nothing too hard pressing on you. So what are you doing that's getting you through this winter? I'd really like to know. Let me know. Send us a message. Leave a comment below, whichever you prefer. I wish it could have been better. I wish it could have been longer, but, I guess that's just how it is. That's what she said. Either way, guys, thank you for your time. I appreciate you listening. We'll be back with another episode as soon as possible. But don't give up on us yet. For VGR, this has been Larry, IR Monkey, signing out. Thank you.